Welcome back to this odds-on edition of the group chat, coming to you on this Thursday. I don't know the date.
The cricket pitch.
Straight off the cricket pitch. You can see I've got this new Betcher merch on.
Very clean.
And I put them here, but oh boy. We got to get a last man stands Betcher cricket team going, I reckon. Get into some whites. Get the floppy on and put the sunnies on, baby.
Need some Betcher speed dealers, maybe, even.
We'll get that in the works.
Yeah,
Some Betcher
the Oakley shades.
speed dealers. Maybe I'll put that through. And because cricket season's coming to an end, we're nearing the end of the summer. I mean, I wake up this morning and it's still pitch black outside.
Yes,
I go back home after work because, we hustle all day. It's pitch black outside. The summer is gone. So we've got a lot of time to prep our last man stands team for next year. We'll get into some preseason training about August, I reckon.
Yeah.
Make sure we get the punting side of things nailed. Maybe that's how we hold trials. A punting tryout.
Yes.
Get yourself into the last man stands team.
Dictates the order, the batting order.
It's not about skill. It's not about the runs you score, not about the wickets you take. It's about your punting. Purely. Let's do it.
All right.
Are you in?
Sounds like a win-win situation.
Where would you bat, ideally? Because you and I can captain, co-captain.
I think between 4 and 6. So I can just walk in, slog it, and then walk off,
Yeah, okay.
Sort of a 6 and out situation.
I don't think we'd struggle to get 11 guys wanting to wear one of these floppies, these sunglasses, or some Betcher speed dealers and playing some last man stands cricket on a Wednesday
Certainly
evening.
not.
I think we'd fly.
The cupboard's already been raided, so.
Yeah. Nah, we'll sort that out. Let's get into this odds-on edition and into some previews. But first, I've got one more big bet for you, Phil. I told you a big bet yesterday. This is bigger.
What?
$25, 12-leg NBA multi. Couple favourites in there. $1.05, the Boston Celtics were against the Jazz yesterday. $1.14, the Warriors against the Trailblazers. But there's some big dog ones in there too. Denver, to my surprise, were paying $4.20 to beat OKC. The Hornets, yeah, that's fair, $4.25 to beat the Heat. But overall, this punter, 12-leg NBA multi, $25 into a grand total of $84,208.72.
Holy moly.
That is ridiculous. That is one of the better big bets I've seen.
Wow.
And it seems so easy.
Well, not when you factor in those $4 shots. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
that's
looking,
true.
to be honest, it's looking a lot like the Rugby League head-to-heads this weekend. You got some $9.25s in there, some $4.25s, some $3.10s, some $3.05s. It can be done.
Oh, absolutely.
That is insane.
And then like we saw
$25?
last week in the Super Rugby, some bigger underdogs coming through with the Drew and Moana and the Brumbies. 3 underdogs in a row coming out on top there. So,
wow.
I think my theme is underdogs are going to keep going. Like, we might as well just get straight into this preview of the Super Rugby stuff. We've got the Crusaders versus the Force.
Yep.
And the Force are 25.5-point underdogs.
Yeah.
That is
It's a bit
ridiculous.
much, isn't it?
And they're not even sending a B-side.
$12 to win.
Anyway. 12
You can see why. Crusaders at home again.
Yeah.
But it does feel a little bit wide.
No.
Force have been pretty good. They'll be disappointed with last week's result, but...
Well, it was only 7 days ago we were saying how sneaky the Force have kind of been.
Yeah.
Like, they were looking good. And then, so it's a case of what the bookies factoring in last weekend's result against the Tars a bit too much.
Yeah, Force lost by 24 points and then, Crusaders won 43-19. So you can see, I think still, it's a little bit too reflective of last week rather than looking at the bigger picture.
And I think, as you'll find, that score was a little bit inflated too if the Crusaders scoring a last-minute try, which, if we recap last week's betting, screwed me over because I had my 50-22 multi all through and done apart from under 60.5 total points in that game. And the try in the 79th minute knocked it over.
That's unlucky.
So I'm not too happy with that. Goran filled in for you, and he had Farnworth and Isako to score for the Dolphins. One did, one did not.
Yeah.
both losing multis last week. So do you have your totals there?
Disappointing.
I think you're still sitting at about a $300 lead at the moment.
Fantastic.
So you're sitting pretty, but
471.25. You're sitting at 106.50.
Okay, so we'll go again.
Okay.
But you've got no thanks to give to
I don't
Goran.
like the slump, though. I don't like seeing a slump, so I need to turn it around ASAP.
And
would have been stoked if Goran got over
Yes.
with $6.80.
Yeah, I know.
That would have been crazy.
Well, that was the narrative. I said to you,
Farnworth is usually someone to get over the line for the Dolphins, but
I thought whether he shooting you in the foot by giving you this high odds one, or is he just going to inflate your lead even more? And
almost.
He nearly did.
I appreciate it.
So it was a good effort. Locks. I was just on Alex Pereira for the locks, so still get to get a lock up. And the ladder challenge, because Auckland FC have drawn their last 2 games, no wins there. So Phil, it's up to you to take on the ladder challenge this week.
All right, starts again.
We'll get there. What have you got your eye on? We've got some NRL.
We do.
A little bit of EPL.
We do.
Champions League this morning. Did you see Real Madrid go through? They just beat Atletico on penalties. Bit of controversy there.
Really?
Yep. Alvarez slipped as he took his penalty. Little slight touch of his lead foot or his planting foot on the ball before kicking it, scoring. No goal. Double kick. And it came down to the last goal for Real Madrid score. They go through, save or miss, and carry on. So Real Madrid find a way to sneak through.
Conor Gallagher scoring in the first minute.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep. So we got through there. Vinny.
But, I mean, it's Real Madrid in the Champions League.
Vinny missed a penalty and then proceeded to talk shit after a generational stinker. So
kind of like Declan Rice shushing the Man United fans in a 1-1 draw.
Well, you take those. A-League, we've got Black Cats versus Pakistan in a T20 series starting on Sunday. The unofficial major of golf, the players at TPC Sawgrass kicking off. And then we have our boy Liam Lawson.
Very exciting.
And I was reading something.
In the Red Bull.
Home Grand Prix.
Well, I mean, it's as close as we're going to get, isn't it?
That's exactly what the article
And everyone from New Zealand moves to Melbourne or Europe, so that's as close as you're going to get.
It's about as close as Liam's going to get to Home Grand Prix, but that's going to happen in Melbourne
Unless
on
they drive
Sunday,
on the State Highway 1 or something.
Yeah, so that's all I've got for the weekend. What's tickling you? The Manly Warriors game or
Rugby League always?
Yeah.
I'll be watching it. I can't say I'm as enthusiastic as normal. I'm a little bit concerned about the Warriors. Hopefully they can turn it around, at least within that 8.5 difference.
Yep.
As well as the Europa League, Man United, the only team left undefeated in the European comps versus Real Sociedad, tied up at 1-1. They got Real Sociedad had a light penalty, I would say.
Okay.
A light penalty to tie it up in the first leg. So at home, it should be spicy.
For some reason, I can't quite put my finger on it, but I always forget about Europa League. It's just not at the forefront of my mind whenever I'm thinking about a weekend of sport.
No.
But as a United fan yourself, I can understand it. So,
and understandably, Arsenal. Well, you've probably forgotten about football this season as well. So.
Well, actually, we drew 2 with PSV, so we'll go through and face Real Madrid in the next round.
Yeah.
I liked our chances more against Atletico.
Yeah.
Real Madrid in the Champions League are different
gravy.
gravy.
They are different gravy, but you never know.
All right, let's get into our betting then. Super Rugby versus NRL, 50-22 versus the 40-20. We need to get a thing that announces it, like a sound bar that goes 50-22 versus 40-20. Something.
You could just clip that if you want. You can. Yep.
All right.
Or we hire commentators. Or we clip,
Yeah. Clip that when they announce the commentary and when a 40-20's happened or a 50-22. I like your thinking.
Well, you don't need to record the 50-22 line because it doesn't often hit. But the 40-20 we should clip.
All right, let's get into it. What's your 40-20?
Broncos Raiders. Broncos, insane last week.
They were.
Too good. Very impressed by them. And I'm still riding them this week. Broncos minus 12.5 versus the Raiders. Who did pump the Warriors, but Broncos are no Warriors. So, yeah, that's $1.90.
Mm-hmm.
And then Titans, first game of the season. Very exciting. I'm liking the look of their team. They got their captain back. And they take on the Bulldogs. Had a very good opener we talked about against Dragons.
Yeah.
But I think Titans can cover a 8.5 spread against the Dogs.
Interesting.
I think it'll be a tight one. $1.85.
So you're just back into handicap spreads.
Indeed.
2 favourites.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
2 favourites? Yeah, maybe. 351 in total.
Mm-hmm. Some big point starts, like that 12.5. I get the Broncos and the initial thoughts on the Raiders going into the season. But after that performance in Vegas, maybe it's a week and a half off. Broncos are not the Warriors, like you said. 12.5, it's still what? 3 tries or 2 converted tries? Not a lot of conversions going over these days.
I just think Raiders, no Tarpany. Raiders, no Xavier Savage to score a full field interception try.
Mm-hmm.
Those are key areas. You're losing a big midfield player.
Yeah.
And the Broncos just seem to be able to throw the ball around and score. Adam Reynolds and Ben Hunt together as a duo look very, very good. The game almost looks too scripted. They're just playing so well as a team. I think a weekend Raiders side is going to struggle.
Do you think Reece Walsh dots down again? I reckon that got a lot of punters paid last week, the Reece Walsh try.
I'm really liking Arthur's as well this season, to be honest. Cobbo obviously had a hat trick.
Mm-hmm. I just picked up Arthur's in my fantasy.
There's a conversation for all 3 there.
Get back in.
I know, I really wanted to grab him and you snaked me. So.
My one to combat that for the 50-22, we talked about the force against the Crusaders. I think that is severely disrespected by the bookies at 25.5, but I needed a little bit of value to chase you down. So I'm taking alternative point spread force plus 19.5. So give me a try, keep it within 20.
Yeah.
And then going to roll that into essentially a coin toss in the Highlanders Hurricanes game. Either team to win by less than 7.5 margin.
Close one.
So tight one down in Dunedin, and the force to keep the game a game against the Crusaders, and that gives me $6.12.
That is, well,
so
that's certainly juicy.
I've got some catching up to do, and this should about tie me with you if you don't get yours up. Cool.
Exciting.
Let's go for our locks and our laughs for the weekend, Phil.
Oh, yes. This is where we could have some sound effects too, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway.
Like a clown.
Chiefs 1 to 12.
That was quite good.
$2.60. They need to bounce back after that performance in the beautiful Fijian weather. And I think they will. And they're at home versus the Blues, who just aren't quite there yet this season. I think Blues will put in a solid effort. What was that first game? Like a 25-14?
Yeah.
I'm looking for a similar scoreline, so Chiefs 1 to 12.
Cool. I'm keeping it easy with a Black Caps win over Pakistan on Sunday. So we've had a good ICC Champions Trophy, 50 overs coming into T20. The squad, relatively similar. Couple younger guys. Depends what we do with the team. Like Tim Robinson in the squad. We've got a Jacob Duffy back in the squad. So there's a couple names that weren't over in Pakistan playing in that tournament, but they're still playing a lot of cricket here. A lot of good young talent, and I just think under Mitch Santner, we're a good white ball side. So at $1.72, I'll take them.
Is it Glenn Phillips has been doing the insane sort of Jonty Rhodes catches?
Oh, Glenn Phillips has a highlight reel catch every single game at the moment.
Fantastic.
It's unbelievable.
I love it.
He just keeps churning out ridiculous catches.
One-handed.
It's almost like he just goes out there trying, like...
Phenomenal.
He just turns on Acrobat Plus. And it's like... It's mental. My laugh, I can see it happening. Liam Lawson in a Red Bull, podium finish for his first race in his home Grand Prix.
I like that.
A win would be lovely. Bit too much of a laugh for me.
51.
51's
51
for a win,
ha-has for that one.
11's for a podium. So I'm going for a podium finish for old Liam Lawson in the RB in Melbourne.
Imagine. I've got friends over there too.
Are they heading along?
They are.
Nice.
I mean, they're all week. I'm very envious. And if they see something like that, that is historic.
Oh, 100%.
Historic.
Sounds like the whole build-up of an F1 weekend.
Yep.
The days before, the practices. Like, if you're there for the whole week, it sounds like a great week.
How about this? $90 for a 10-minute Uber.
2 there.
10-minute Uber. I think they're just going to be at capacity all week, the Ubers. Obviously, a lot of people flooding in.
Goodness.
10-minute Uber, $90. Thank you.
Yeah, okay.
Cha-ching.
I see you.
So if you're looking for a new job, go drive Uber during big events because 10 minutes, $90 cash. Money.
Would you just walk? How long's the walk? If it's a 10-minute Uber, it's a half-an-hour walk.
Yeah.
Get your steps up.
Yeah, well, there'd be traffic, wouldn't there? Surely you take the tram when you're in Melbourne.
Yeah.
Why are you even Ubering?
Come
on. Tram. You'll love this. New stadium on the way, hopefully, and the only team undefeated in the competition. I have a feeling we are relatively big here. I know we've been kind of average. I just have a feeling Real Sociedad aren't all that. And they do concede big on occasion. This might be such an occasion. Xerxes and Fernandez to score. $10, 72.
For the both anytime goal scorers.
For both.
What happens if you pair that with the United win? Surely if they both score and they win, get a little 3-leg same-game multi and then get your...
This is United we're talking about.
Yeah, okay. I was just trying to slide in a little tool, you know.
Well, I'm almost thinking of 3-0, to be honest. I had 3-0 pop into my mind. But I thought, at minimum, Xerxes and Fernandez, if there's anyone that's going to score, it's those two. Let's leave it at that.
All right.
It's still a ha-ha, but it's not a
hee-hee.
over-the-top hee-hee.
Yeah, okay. Have you seen those TikToks at the moment where it's those little goblins doing their little laughs?
Yeah.
Those are what we need for the laughs.
Yeah.
Those are my favourite.
Some city council has been abusing that meme at the moment. It's fantastic. I almost want to say Palmerston North City Council, but I don't think it is.
Oh, Pete Naughty.
Someone, anyway.
I love those little goblin laughs. So those are the bets for the weekend. They'll be on our profiles if you do want to follow along. Before we wrap it up, you've got our ladder challenge. $10.
Oh,
and
yes.
2 watts.
Oh, yes.
How are we starting this off? Race to 1,000.
Cowboys were absolutely terrible last week. Abysmal watch. Fanua Blake is scoring against the Cowboys.
What's he paying?
Without a doubt. $3.25.
How is he still at these big odds to score?
I know. And he scored last week as well. Against the Panthers.
Interesting. So that's the ladder challenge. AFB
He's done me a favour before. I think he can do me another favour. Cowboys are trash.
You didn't want to put him in your 40-20 multi?
No, because I wanted it for the ladder challenge.
Yeah, fair. Rate it. Yeah. All right. Well, that again will be on your bet profile. I think that's all I've got leading into this weekend.
Fantastic.
Beauty. Well, if you are listening, hope you have a good weekend. If you have a punt, do it responsibly, and we will see you, hopefully with some cash in our pockets, next week.
Up the waz.